Hey guys, it's April 28th, 2024, and today I've got my wife back again. This is going to be our third talk. Got some questions for today's video. Just want to say thank you for everybody that's been watching this series. I really do appreciate it, and especially the people who have asked some really good questions. I appreciate that as well. Thank you to everybody who watched the video from yesterday. Sorry that I didn't get up until late. It's just we didn't get home until late yesterday afternoon, and then, sometimes my internet just takes a long time for it to upload, and we were in the middle of watching a movie that was streaming last night as well, so I'm sure that slowed things down, but like I said, thank you for watching yesterday's video. Got a lot of really great comments. I know it's a little bit different than my normal videos, but like I said, it was just something that happened around here, and I figured why not go ahead and throw it up there for yesterday. But like I said, got some questions for today, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this right now. Like I said yesterday, we got a bunch of stuff to do around farm today, so I'm gonna try to keep this as short as possible, and we'll see how many questions that we get to in today's video. So the first question is, if you ever did find out that one of your kids did have a drink of alcohol, do you have a plan that you have discussed on how you would deal with that situation? How many kids, you know how kids are sometimes, especially when they are becoming young adults, that they want to grow up and do grown stuff. They may feel ostracized for not drinking with their peers. Just wondered. So,
well, this would be a question for both of us, I feel like. So I don't think that, I feel like young adults are going to drink. They're probably going to drink here and there.
Yeah.
And I think you feel the same way. We have a young adult. We have a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
So we don't we really don't say you can never have a drink. That's not something we've done. I think we try to explain what the difference is between having a drink or a glass of wine versus drinking every day or drinking every weekend or something like that. I don't know. How do you go into that?
Well, I mean, I've told the boys I don't want to drink at all.
At all?
Yeah. I mean, I know that my daughter's drank before. I mean, she's 20. I just don't want her to do it all the time. I mean, I really would prefer her not to drink.
Do it at all. But that's a very hard thing, and you know how some people are like, don't, and then that makes the kids want to do it more.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, and I've talked to all the kids about just how detrimental it can be to your health, and more than anything, I've just explained to them that their predisposition to become alcoholics. I mean, there are so many alcoholics in our family on both sides of my family, your family.
Yeah, what's funny is you didn't grow up in an alcoholic household. I didn't grow up in an alcoholic household, but we both have grandparents that were and then further back.
Oh, yeah. There's tons of alcoholics in my family, and I just want them to know that, they are set up, genetically to become alcoholics. I would prefer they not drink at all. And, it's not one of those things where we allow it or anything like that. I mean, we've talked to them, but we don't, we just don't, I don't know, we don't really have as of right now, it's not a problem.
Right, and that's hard. You don't want to let it go until it becomes a problem, but I would hope it would never be a problem in our house with our kids. It's kind of hard. Hopefully, I think, like he just said, they know how he got to where he's at.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation that comes up when it comes up. It's not a conversation we have every day or on purpose. It's just...
Well, I talk to the boys about it all the time. I think more or less we're just going to have to let things happen as they do and just
encourage it the best way possible.
Yeah, we can encourage it the best way we can and encourage them not to do so. And, if that day comes, then we're going to have to, cross that bridge when we get there. But as of right now, we haven't had any problems with that at all. And I hope that we don't. Next question is, I already scrolled over. When you talk, she said, I have a suggestion. When you talk with your kids about substance abuse, also tell them about the possibility that if someone gives them a pill, even if they think they know what it is, and ordinarily it might be okay to use it. Nowadays, pills are sometimes laced with fentanyl. There's a YouTube series about people who have died of fentanyl-laced pills. I remember one girl in particular. She had just gotten married and moved away from family and her husband. I think she was in the service. She had a problem with anxiety and had prescription pills, but they were giving unwanted side effects. A friend gave her a Xanax pill, which she had taken them before, and they were okay for her, but it was laced with fentanyl, and her husband came home and found her dead.
And this is a conversation where we have absolutely said, do not take a pill. Don't take any type of drugs from anybody. This is one of those things we actually have said, don't, absolutely not.
No, we have talked with our kids about that, and that's one of the things that I've told them, that it's very scary these days.
Especially the older one comes into situations like that.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I was just having a conversation with my daughter about this. I was telling you guys, that we went and had a picnic the other day, and when we were on the way home from that, I was talking with my daughter. She had gone to the beach with her boyfriend the week before for her birthday, and they went to Myrtle Beach, and someone approached her boyfriend, walked up to him and asked him if he wanted a Percocet, and he told him, no, I'm not interested, please step away, or whatever. And we were talking about that, and she said, we would never do something like that. And I was like, well, I hope not, because, these pills these days, 99% of them are fake anymore anyway. And they, majority of them have fentanyl in them.
Yeah, it's not even about the drugs anymore.
Yeah,
it's
no,
about
and
the fact that you could take one thing and die.
Yeah, and I was telling my kids, it's not the drugs that when we were growing up. I mean, they were what you got. I mean, it might have been cut with something. It might have not have been 100% pure. I'm just saying, when we were growing up, the drugs were what they were.
If anything, it was less.
Yeah, it might not have been as strong or something, but it didn't have fentanyl in it. Nowadays, everything has fentanyl in it, and all it takes is one pill. And I was telling my daughter that, just the amount of 2 grains of sand is enough to take out somebody. I mean,
yeah.
If even that, I know they measure that stuff in micrograms. I mean, it's, and you have somebody who's in their garage or in some room in their house just mixing stuff together, and
they're professional.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're doing. And one pill could have, this much in it, and the next one could have 10 times that amount, and it doesn't take much. And the thing is, like that right there with the Xanax and stuff like that, that's crazy that, you think that you're going to take a benzodiazepine, you end up taking, I don't know if it's an opiate or an opioid, whatever fentanyl is, because it's a synthetic, but, you end up taking it, and next thing you know.
Yeah, so we have absolutely, where I haven't looked at my daughter and said, don't ever take a drink. I have looked at her and said, don't ever take a pill.
Yeah.
From a person.
Yeah, we've told them, do not ever do that. Former substance abuse counselor here. If any of your kids are boys, please educate them on LD's alcoholism and what it did to him. Male children of alcoholics are 6 times more likely to become alcoholics themselves. Daughters are likely to marry alcoholics. Therapy and support groups can help. By the way, kids know more than you think they do.
Well, that kind of goes back to what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You talk to the boys probably more than I do about that.
I talk to them.
We kind of have different roles with our kids, obviously. And, so for the boys, they know how he got here. They know what happened. They know the difference. They know how he was, and they know how he is now. And our daughter doesn't take crap off anybody, so I don't think she'd put up with that.
No,
I think she's good.
Next question here is, and apologies if you've already covered this and I missed, but when did your wife realize you had a problem? When did she know you had a problem? Did she know you had a problem before you knew? And what was that like for her to verbalize that to you for the first time?
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this in our first video, the very first one, when we really realized it was an issue. And I think I mentioned I didn't really want to go on vacations anymore because it just wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But for me, who's a person that's not a drinker, it was always an issue for me. I'm a girl, and I always wanted him to hang out with me, not hang out, with the guys drinking. Yeah. So I've been verbalizing that to him since I was 20.
Yeah.
That wasn't hard.
And then there was another question on here too. It says, do you have any church affiliation? What role has the church played in your recovery?
We do not have a church affiliation. I would say we are classified as Christian. If you were to ask us, we believe in God, but we don't.
I mean, we don't go to church all the time. We go to church, but I mean, that's kind of at the end of the day, that's kind of personal. I would say that church has not played any role in my recovery at all.
No.
The best way to answer that, and as far as the rest of it, I just would rather just keep that to ourselves as far as going any deeper on that. You got it right here on this one right here.
What?
You had this screenshot right on this next one, but no church affiliation as far as that's concerned, and the church did not play a role in my recovery at all. I was struck when you were talking about how you helped your husband while he was sick in bed, putting food and drinks by the bed, etc. How was that experience similar or different for you when he was stuck in bed due to being drunk or hungover?
It was completely different. I didn't bring him food or drinks when he was hungover.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I left him to his own.
Yeah.
And I would say, I don't want to say, I would say very purposefully, I left you on your own.
Yeah, she didn't help me through any hangovers or anything like that. No, not at all.
I said bye, went to work.
Yeah, but she did help me out when I was sick. Next one is, hi, question for Miss LD. What would you say was the most shocking change in LD's behavior personality due to alcoholism? I know when I was drinking, I acted in ways that were completely out of character for me, and everyone took notice. Thanks, and God bless.
Changes would, I'm sure, I mean, obviously be your reaction to things and how you handle issues.
Yeah.
Which, he's still working through, because if you're a drinker, you never really had to deal with your emotions and issues. You could kind of glaze over it and drink through it and hope it was gone the next day. I would say the biggest change, though, is family participation. You do things with us that you never did before.
Yeah.
He's at every event that he can be at, unless there's like a health reason that he's not there. Everything with the kids, he's there now. Just things like that. You're there. You're present.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, because I mean, I'm still dealing with my emotions because I never had to work through them. And I think that's probably been one of the hardest things for me
to come to terms with.
Yeah, just in sobriety is being able to handle my emotions. I don't know necessarily dealing with problems, because I definitely handle those a lot better. Because it would literally be the end of the world when something went wrong when I was a drinker.
Absolutely.
And now it's just like, whatever.
Now it's just like, well, let's just fix it and move on. Yeah, that is so true. Like if a battery died on a car, it was the end of the world at the time. And I think that's probably because you just wanted to go home and drink. You didn't want to have to deal with the problem.
Like just the other day, I was already home for the day. And we were actually pretty excited because we didn't have anything other than my son had to go to his youth group. It was Wednesday night.
Yeah.
My son had his youth group that night.
But that's a night off for us. That's all we
had
to do.
And that's all we had to do. I was already home, was done for the day. I was actually about to get dinner ready, and my wife called, and it was like 7 o'clock.
It was like 6:15.
It was pretty late, and she called me and said my car won't start. So I just drove up there to her work, and it's not close. And, before, if I had been a drinker, there's no way in the world that would have ever happened.
You wouldn't have been able to rescue me?
No, because one, I wouldn't be able to drive because I would have been intoxicated. Two, I might not even been awake at that time.
It's so true.
But if it was that time of night, I mean, I would have been wasted. There's no way. And I drove up there, checked it out, and the battery was dead in the truck. And I took the battery out, took my son to his youth group, and then got a new battery and put it in the truck, and then we drove home. And we didn't get back until late that night, but it got handled. The
problem was resolved, and nobody freaked out about
it. Yeah, I didn't lose it. Just a little bit ago, I was in the house, and the kitchen sink got stopped up, and it's been causing some problems like the past week, and finally today it just completely clogged up. I went and took everything apart underneath the sink and unclogged it, and
now you're just bragging.
No, I'm just saying, but I didn't lose it. Before, I would have been there slamming stuff around.
Yeah, you would have been so irritated, like it was the end of the world.
Yeah, because that's just the way I was. Next one is, are you ever afraid that your kids, friends, parents would come across your page and judge or steer their kids away from hanging around your family due to your past? Some people are weird like that, unfortunately. Or the parents or their kids would tell their kids about everything you've been through.
We anybody's kids that come to our house or that our kids go to their house would know our situation.
Yeah, most of the parents of the, I would say all the parents of the children,
if our kids are close enough with
they
them,
know about my previous alcohol consumption. That I am an alcoholic. They know that I'm sick. I've discussed it with all of them, told them, you know, that I have a lot of medical issues, that I do not drink.
And a lot of our kids' friends have been teachers who taught our kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would let them know kind of what's going on. So if there was an issue at school, they knew what the issue was. Let me know, things like that. So a lot of
their teachers know about my past.
Yeah, they know what you're going through now.
They know.
So that if the kids are upset at school one day, they can call me, or they know they can call the counselor or whatever. But yeah, so anybody who's close enough with our kids already knows.
It's not a big secret or anything like that. I would say that anybody who we associate with knows my story.
Yeah. And,
you know, and there are a lot of churches around here. You know, this is a small town. I know that I've been on a lot of prayer lists around in the churches around here, and my last name is not a common. It's not a common last name. Let's just put it like that. And my last name, we are the only people with our last name in our town. So when my name gets brought up, people know who I am.
Yeah, like our kids, between all three kids, have been at the same elementary school for like 14 years now.
Yeah.
Like that I've had to drop off kids at that school. So yeah, we're in a very tight knit.
Yeah.
To an extent.
We are. And like I said, I've been on prayer lists. And I've had people come to me and say, hey, I was at my church last Sunday and I heard your name being called out on the prayer list. So it's people around here know what's going on. And like I said, it's a small town, so people knew I was an alcoholic back then too. I mean,
he's actually been really open. Like we've had one of our son's friends for the first time that they came and stayed here who may not have knew everything. The first thing you said to them was, we don't drink, and you told them right out. So
well, at the same time, I don't want them to find something out like that out
and
on the back
end
and then like judge me for it or something. I'd rather just be open and honest with people and just let them know up front. That way they're not finding out and then, you know, second guessing having their kids over here. I just want them to know I don't drink. If they've ever heard anything about me, because my oldest son is a junior. He's got the same exact name that I do, and so I didn't. And a lot of these kids that are going to school with our kids now, we went to school
with their parents,
and I didn't want this to be something like where they hear my son's name and they go, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
I remember him from back in the day. He was crazy. So I've made a point to let people know that I'm not like that anymore. I don't do those types of things anymore. That I'm clean now and sober, and you know, the parents see me out at functions and stuff like that. They know that I'm not like that anymore.
Oh yeah, no.
So
no.
I just wanted to be open and honest with everybody about that.
And it's been fine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been.
This one is to your wife. What is the best thing that has changed about your husband since he quit drinking?
Didn't we do that one? I said family participation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm going the wrong direction. You're really going the wrong direction.
Am I?
Mm-hmm. Go. You already did all those.
Did that one. Sorry guys, I think I went the wrong way. This one, do they produce goat milk? And I said, yeah, they do, but the baby goats drink the goat milk.
Oh, these were farm questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make goat milk, but we don't
we don't do anything with the milk.
No, because that is so time consuming. You have to be out there, it's just so time consuming. So we just let the babies drink the milk. We don't make cheese and all that stuff. That was the initial idea. But it takes a lot of time for stuff like that.
Yeah, we thought about doing like soap and stuff like that.
But you almost have to be like just at home all the time to do that kind of stuff.
And then you got another one here. Does the vet come at all? And yes, the vet comes.
The vet, no, well, it's a horse vet. She comes twice a year and does the horse shots, and then she does all the other animal shots if they need shots when they're here. But we do the goats and all that stuff. Anything that's really sick or wrong with them, we kind of handle it ourselves.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's about it as far as the questions are concerned for right now. Like I said, we're trying to keep this short. We got a bunch of work to do back there today. Like I was showing you guys in the video, there's some stuff that needs to get cleaned up back there. She's already been working out there this morning. I gotta get the tractor out. I can't do a lot of physical labor per se myself, but I can get on the tractor and work that thing, which she needs my help with because she's got to put some new fencing in. And
the boy goats have figured out how to get to the girl goats.
Yeah, the boy goats have broken through the fence to the girl goats, so we've got to repair that. We actually have to replace the whole fence, and I'm gonna take the tractor. I use a tractor to tension the fence off so that she can put up new fence posts and all that kind of stuff. We're not actually putting wooden fence posts in, just T-posts. They just have to be hammered into the ground. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. And that's one of the things, and I will say, guys, it is rather embarrassing sometimes, especially when you have to go get like feed and stuff like that at the store. I can't lift anything that heavy at all, so my wife does have to lift all the big bags of feed, and I usually will run and hide in the truck while she's doing that because I don't want anybody to see me out there. They're like, what? Look at this lazy guy out here while his wife loads up all the feed. But I just cannot do it. I cannot lift anything that heavy. For one, I have 2 hernias, and I am so afraid of something happening with those, getting some kind of blockage or something, and I just physically am not that strong anymore. I just cannot do it. So any of the like really laborious stuff around here, my wife has to do it. I cannot. And I used to do all that stuff, and that's one of the things that happens, you know, when you get sick like this. You know, it's sad, but it's part of it. And luckily we have a tractor, and I can get a lot of stuff done with that. But anything that I had to do, like, you know, labor-wise, like shoveling or anything like that, or lifting big logs, I can't do any of that kind of stuff anymore. I just cannot. And the last thing we want to do is for me to hurt myself. I was actually speaking with one of the subscribers one day who has gotten sick as well, and they had varices, and they actually pushed themselves too hard one day and overdid it and burst varices because of that. I was not aware that could happen, and I actually spoke with my doctor about it, and they were telling me, you need to not push yourself too hard because you can. I was not aware, so I try my best not to do way too much, because the last thing we need is to have a burst varices, especially with the fact that I take blood thinners twice a day, because if that day comes, that's going to be a real bad situation. But anyway, not trying to leave here on a negative note. I'm just saying I can't do a whole lot as far as physical labor is concerned, but I will get on the tractor today and knock some stuff out. But thank you so much for watching today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Tomorrow will be a regular video. It'll be just me, and I'm not exactly sure what the topic's going to be off the top of my head right yet, but I'll have something good for you guys tomorrow. But thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Say bye.
Bye. Happy Sunday.
All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great Sunday, and I love you.